you'll notice that I have used many toys in my stories and poems. This is because, and I've gone into this a little bit more earlier, it's a bit misleading. In fact, it's very misleading to tell a child with a visual impairment that a little piece of plastic is an animal. And similarly, I've got this here, which is a spider and has a light in it. Doesn't show up too much in the lighting here, but, well, it vaguely looks like a spider to us, but how could you tell a blind child that this was a spider? However, it is a good object for sensory play. It does light up. In fact, it changes colours. So in the dark, it could be very useful for a child with limited vision to find in the dark. It does have quite a good experience here of all the legs. So I would use it for a different purpose, but I wouldn't be calling it a spider. The frogs I used in the poem for the sound, rather to give and say this is a frog. And puppets also have a use, but a limited use, unless your child has some useful vision. I have some hand puppets here, knitted hand puppets. And we have a teddy bear. I think that's an owl, I'm not quite sure. We have a panda, and we have a little clown. And they all look quite bright, but if your child has very little useful vision, these will just all be blobs of colour, and they'll all feel like a glove when you put them in your hand inside them. If your child has some useful vision, you may well want to use them for colour, for finding something, for tracking, perhaps to use in a story. These are very useful if you have another sibling in the family to use with a story that they might well enjoy to use during one of your stories. Again, I say, they all look very different, but to me they all just feel like gloves. Here's a different one. It's got some feathers attached, and this is a sock puppet, just made out of an old sock with some bits of foam attached, with a limited use, I have to say. Okay.